And then in verse 13 it says, "And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, Of all that I said unto the woman, let her beware. She may not eat of anything that comes of the vine, neither let her drink wine or strong drink, or eat any unclean thing. All that I command her, let her observe." And Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, "I pray you, let us detain you until we shall have made ready a goat for you." And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, "Though you detain me, I will not eat of your food. And if you will offer a burnt offering, you must offer it unto the Lord." For Manoah knew not that he was an angel of the Lord. So Samson's life was mystical from the beginning. In verse 24 it says, "And the woman bore a son and called his name Samson. And the child grew, and the Lord blessed him. And the Spirit of the Lord began to move him at times. And Samson went down to Timnah, and he saw a woman in Timnah of the daughters of the Philistines. And he came up and told his father and his mother, and said, I have seen a woman in Timnah of the daughters of the Philistines. Now therefore get her for me as my wife. Then his father and his mother said unto him, Is there no woman among the daughters of your brethren, or among all my people, that you go to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines? And Samson said unto his father, Get her for me, for she pleases me well. But his father and his mother knew not that it was of the Lord, that he sought an occasion against the Philistines. For at that time the Philistines had dominion over Israel. So the story of Samson is that he sees this woman who is not of his own people. She's a Philistine. And he's attracted to her. Attraction. He said she was well-pleasing to him. He desired her. And as a result, he told his parents that he wanted to marry her. The first thing they asked was, is there no one among your own people that you can marry? As Christians today, we have to think about this question. When we get to the point of attraction, we've talked about marriage, we've talked about virginity. Now the question of attraction. When we get to the point of attraction, what kind of people should we be attracted to? Should we be like Samson and be attracted to a woman who is not of our faith? Or to a man who is opposite of our religion? This is the question that we have to ask ourselves when it comes to attraction. There is good attraction and bad attraction. And what we want to look at in the story of Samson is whether we have good or bad attraction in this case. It says, Then went Samson down, and his father and his mother to Timnah, and came to the vineyards of Timnah, and behold, a young lion roared against him. And the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and he tore him as he would have torn a kid or a goat. And he had nothing in his hand. But he told not his father or his mother what he had done. And he went down and talked with the woman, and she pleased Samson well. And after a time he returned to take her, and he turned aside to see the carcass of the lion. And behold, there was a swarm of bees and honey in the carcass of the lion. And he took therefore in his hands, and went on eating, and came to his father and mother, and he gave them, and they did eat. But he told them not that he had taken the honey out of the carcass of the lion. So his father went down unto the woman, and Samson made there a feast, for so used the young men to do. And it came to pass, when they saw him, that they brought 30 companions to be with him. And Samson said unto them, I will now put forth a riddle unto you, if you can certainly declare it. So Samson now sees the woman, he kills the lion, and there's the honey and the bees inside of the carcass of the lion. And so when we think about the lion is supposed to be strong, right? It's supposed to overcome him. But because he has the strength of God, he's able to overcome the lion. He tears the lion just as if he tore a little goat. And then he goes off to talk to the woman. And so he has strength. And then when he finishes talking to the woman, what happens? He goes back and he sees some honey and bees. And he takes it from the carcass of the lion and eats. And so he had developed for himself a sense of pride. Not that he had been given the blessing from God that we started out with in the beginning, or that anything had been given to him by God, but that he had strength of his own, might of his own, a will of his own, and his desire was turned towards the things that God had forbidden for him. And so the story of Samson and Delilah goes on to say that Samson, after he married Delilah, fought many battles against the Philistines and won. And so the Philistines became jealous, and they went to Delilah and they told her to find the source of Samson's strength. Samson, because he was in love with Delilah, tells her in a moment of intimacy that his strength was in his hair, because a razor had never touched his head, and he was a Nazarene. And that Nazarene vow represented the fact that God had been with him from his mother's womb. When he tells her of his strength, she takes an opportunity while he is sleeping to cut his hair. And when he rises up, he's lost his strength. The Philistines capture him, put out his eyes and make him blind, and chain him. Samson's attraction to Delilah, was it good or was it bad? Was it authentic or was it inauthentic? He was attracted to her appearance, right? But she didn't have love for him. And so the love that had sustained Samson wasn't the physical love of Delilah. It was the love that he had received from God from the womb of his mother. Many times we as Christians don't realize that the womb of our mother is the baptismal font in the church. And the love that we get from that womb is the love that God gives us as a result of us being his children through faith. And so when Samson had all this love, he sought to do other things. He sought after the desires of his own heart. Now we want to move forward to understanding this idea of the love of God and our love for the things of this world, how they're different. In the book of Proverbs, it helps us to understand this concept of loving God. Attraction to the things of the world, it's very strong. And so the question is, how are we supposed to avoid physical attraction to other people? Well, you would be surprised, but the Bible teaches us by telling us a story of a woman and a man. Once again, it uses the example in the book of Proverbs. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 7, it says, "My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with you. Keep my commandments and live, and my law is the apple, as the apple of your eye. Bind them upon your fingers. Write them upon the table of your heart. Say unto wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding your kinswoman." You see, what Samson did that made him lose his strength was he saw another woman outside of God as his objective, as his desire. And so in Proverbs, even though it's speaking to his son, he's speaking to his children. And what it tells is the story of a father telling his son, make wisdom your sister. Make wisdom your kinswoman. Meaning, our attraction in early life should be to this idea of wisdom. We shouldn't be attracted to the things that are physically beautiful to us, but we have to find a way to be attracted to wisdom. Listen to what wisdom is. That they may keep thee from strange women, from the foreigner who flatters with her words. For at the window of my house I looked through my casement, and behold, among the simple ones I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding, passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house. In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night, and behold, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot, and subtle of heart. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. Now is she outside, now in the street, and lieth in wait at every corner. What I want you guys to do is to talk to each other. Who do you think this woman is in the story? Who do you think the woman is? Turn and talk to each other. Take a minute and think about who is the woman in the story. She's like a harlot. She's like a prostitute. A harlot is a prostitute, a person who sells themselves. Who is the woman in the story? The girls are going to figure it out before the guys, I think. The girls. That was smart. What do you think? Think of some other options.
Is it, let's see.
Who's the harlot that's in the street trying to get the man?
What's her name?
Who is she? Yeah, what's her name? Delilah? Okay.
I don't know, maybe. I have a question.
Okay, let's come back together. We have a question. Yeah, let's come back together. Okay. Udasa, you have a question?
Was Mary Magdalene a prostitute?
Yes, she was. Mary Magdalene. So who do you guys think she is? No suggestions. Give me some suggestions. It's okay. Okay, so Delilah. Why do you say Delilah? Why do you think? Because you have to tell me, what does Delilah do?
She like acts like what's the word?
She wasn't genuine in her love.
Yeah, like she wasn't. How should I explain it? Like her love was like a conditional type of love.
Okay, all right. Someone else. Who might be the woman? Who might the woman in Proverbs be?